What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about Norwegian stereotypes. Are they true? Or are they false? Well, today we are going to see what Norwegians have to say about this. What do Norwegians think about Norwegian stereotypes? I am very interested to hear this, so let's take a look.
So tell me, what is one stereotype that you think is very true about Norwegians?
We like our personal space, I would say.
Okay.
I can see you did this when you said that.
Exactly.
You're really cute.
That is, okay, that's probably like one of the most well-known Norwegian stereotypes. I feel like a lot of the time, especially in America, when we say stereotype, it is a very negative thing. It is a bad thing. But not all stereotypes are necessarily bad. Like the fact that there's a stereotype that Norwegians enjoy having more personal space. Certainly more personal space than us Americans. That's not a bad thing, and I believe it's true from a lot of different sources. It seems to be true that Norwegians in general appreciate personal space, and I actually appreciate space as well, so I actually agree with this.
We're really closed off.
People are very reserved.
Reserved?
Very closed emotionally.
I hope we are.
Oh, that's fascinating. That's fascinating how many Norwegians, like 3 or 4 different Norwegians, immediately are like, oh yeah, we're very closed off. We're pretty reserved. Like that personality trait could be interpreted as negative. But I think in Norway, and this should be the case for everywhere, being closed off or reserved or a little tougher to get to know or to build up trust, I think that's a good thing. You shouldn't necessarily always just be an open book. But I think here in America, being reserved and closed off, you're going to be called cold. You're going to be called distant or rude here in America. But in Norway, I just think it's normal, and it's not considered rude or anything. I think that's why Norwegians are, like, very open and honest about, yeah, we're a bit closed off, and that's okay. I agree with that. It's perfectly fine as well. So it takes a little longer to make new Norwegian friends, to actually become close with people. Norwegians don't want to be bothered as much. That kind of thing. It's not negative, where I think a lot of Americans would think this is negative, and I don't think so.
Are positive people, smiling people, friendly people? I hope so.
I hope so too.
So many of them say closed off, but then he says, oh, friendly, smiling, pleasant. And I think it's true. You can be both. It is possible. You can be friendly, you can be polite and nice and smiling, but you can also be a little closed. You can be a little difficult to crack underneath the shell, to see deeper. You can be both at once, which is another thing Americans have a very tough time kind of understanding. Because here in America, you have to be open and loud and friendly, or else you're considered rude, which can be awfully draining, awfully socially draining. So I actually think these stereotypes are not only accurate for Norwegians, I actually think they are good, positive traits.
Yeah, you have answers. On the bus or the tram, like if one person is sitting on a seat, you don't sit next to that person. You want to give that person this personal space.
Yes.
Right?
Does that
I've heard that one so many times. That is not a stereotype. That is just absolutely true. That is a fact.
change when you drink?
Definitely.
Oh.
Maybe a little bit unpolite, a bit closed, not very open. I think
There's the closed, not very open, but he said unpolite. I think Norwegians can be polite and friendly, but that doesn't mean you're going to become the closest, best of friends. That doesn't mean you're going to be super trusting of each other. That takes time. But you can be friendly and generous with people on a surface level, I think.
that's
True.
yeah.
A day like this, meeting you at the street is quite uncomfortable for Norwegians, but you know.
Give me a drink.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that's the thing. If you give us a couple of drinks, then we'll open up and we'll be much more fun.
That's another stereotype I've heard about Norway that apparently is also true. Seems like a lot of these stereotypes about Norway are just true. I was wondering if any of these have been over-exaggerated or something, but no. This is another one. Norwegians have to drink and enjoy drinking in order to open up and socialize a bit more. I mean, that's true here in America, but at the same time, here in America, many people will be open and like very, very open and friendly and just an open book, even if you don't know them very well at all. But when Americans drink, then it just gets kind of crazy.
What is your name?
My name is Sondre,
And where? Yes.
and I'm tall.
And identify as tall.
I identify as tall, that is true. Unlike the Southern European people who are like, oh, I made a new friend, that's great. Norwegians are more like, I don't really have room for another friend. I have 2 people that I already know. I talk to them like twice a week, so I don't need any more people.
If you
That's a very sort of American attitude he's talking about of getting a bunch of friends. Oh, I can always have a friend, like Europeans and Americans seem a little similar in that way. Oh, I can always have a new friend, but Norwegians are like, I have a couple of friends. I'm very happy with my friends. I don't need more friends. I only have so much time. I think I tend to be very similar to the Norwegian sort of, it takes a lot to get close, and it takes a lot to be a close friend. And you only need a couple of very close friends to be happy, I think. So I actually find myself agreeing with the Norwegian social customs quite a bit.
If you get a Norwegian friend, like you have a very good friend, but
Yeah.
it takes some time to like open up. Instead of maybe like other cultures where it's more like superficial but very nice all the time. So I think maybe if you get like a Norwegian friend, you have a friend, like
how
a
do
real
you
friend.
get a Norwegian
Yeah.
friend?
How do you get one? Yeah, when you do get a Norwegian friend, it means something. In America, everyone will pretend to be your friend. People think having more friends means have a higher value, like a higher personal value if you have a lot of friends, even if it's a very shallow friendship and not very real. Which I enjoy the Norwegian way of friendship. If you're friends, it means something. It took time. There's trust and feelings involved. I really like that a lot. But how do you even get a Norwegian friend to begin with?
Yeah, how do you get a Norwegian
Buy him a
friend?
beer.
A beer.
Yeah,
buy them a
him
beer.
No, that's a bad answer.
No, that's a terrible answer.
And where are you from?
Get them drunk. That's how you do it.
Oslo, here.
Oslo.
Yeah.
You were born in Oslo.
Yeah.
Perfect. You're the first person that I met today that's actually born in Oslo.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Ski guys, winter, not talking to other people. I want to be
Okay.
on the top of a mountain.
Winter, skiing, not talking much, hiking, and mountains. That's all. That's all Norwegian stereotypes that I think are generally accurate. I mean, this is mostly just how do you describe a Norwegian in general? It's not even because here stereotypes are mostly exaggerations or not true. In America, stereotypes are considered overgeneralizations, negative, not true. But these stereotypes of Norwegians, people just seem to have really, really positive stereotypes of Norwegians, of being like friendly, maybe a little closed off, but that's fine. They like to drink. They have beautiful places to hike, like that.
That's my typical stereotype of Norway.
Do you do skiing?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And do you like winter?
Of course.
And do you like to drink?
Of course.
Well, the stereotypes are all true. This is just the quintessential perfect Norwegian specimen right here.
Now we're gonna drink.
What is one stereotype that is true?
That we like brunost.
Brunost.
Actually,
Brunost. Most Americans do not know about brunost. I It's a very, very Norwegian thing that I learned about, the brown cheese. If Americans saw this cheese, I mean, most of us would think this has gone rotten, that this is terrible, that this looks disgusting. Apparently Norwegians love it. Apparently it's kind of sweet or caramelly, which is interesting.
Actually, no, the brunost, the brown cheese.
Brown cheese. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, but we actually like it.
Yeah?
We love it.
We don't like people.
That's kind of true because Norwegians is a kind of a reserved kind of people.
Reserved. See, most of the Norwegians in this interview are like, I don't like people, and I know that's an exaggeration. What they're trying to say is, I only have so many friends. I don't rely on social interaction for happiness, which is very different to Americans. Americans really, really rely on a lot of social interaction from people they don't know or do know, doesn't matter. Most Americans expect you to be sort of open and talkative, and it can definitely be a bit draining. I think Norwegians would find it very, very draining, honestly, American culture.
So we just, hi, how are you?
Hey, how are you? Yeah.
We need a reason to do that.
Or alcohol.
Yeah, or alcohol.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
There's the alcohol again, of course.
That's true.
That's why we're here tonight.
How did you get to know all your friends here?
High school.
And if you were to meet someone now, would you try to be friends if you like this person, or would you just say, I'm done, I have the friends?
The bar is somewhat high, but I would try to get to know them and then make a decision later on.
Wow, yeah. So it seems like a lot of Norwegians, literally, your friends are determined by high school. Or maybe your job or university or something. That's the most common way to be friends. And so you have friends for a very, very long time, from way back in your childhood. And later on in life, the bar is pretty high to become actual real friends with Norwegians. Because the friend group is kind of set in stone a little bit. I get it. That can happen a little bit in the United States, don't get me wrong. But I think Americans are very, very open to welcoming in new people, new friends. Like, the more friends, the better. That's kind of the attitude.
Okay, it sounds a bit like an interview.
You have to pass all the tests, all the bars to contribute anything new. Now it really sounds like kind of like a business interview or something.
I actually came.
Well, I get it. Like, having a real friend takes effort and investment. And selfishly, you do want something out of it. And you hope that you provide something to your friends. But you can't just do that to 20 different people. That wouldn't be genuine or practical. So I understand what he's saying.
Came back from the US last week. There they have this southern hospitality, which I really enjoyed. All of these small acts of kindness, but here no one will talk to you.
We're not that.
So she visited the United States as a Norwegian, and she actually enjoyed some of the open friendliness Americans have. I'm curious about that. As Norwegians, would Norwegians kind of expect to have a good time in America? I thought Norwegians would be drained and overwhelmed in America. Maybe it's just a nice change up, just a nice difference, like just people being friendlier to you. I don't know. I could see it both ways, being overwhelming or kind of a nice change in a way.
Enjoyed all of these small acts of kindness, but here no one will talk to you.
We're not that cold.
No.
We're not that cold. We're really not. But
No,
Yes, we are.
But you need alcohol to bring that
or a
out.
reason. Because we don't kind of interact with people just by instinct.
Tell me your name.
I gotta say, just watching the Norwegians here on this video, they all come across as very, very nice, very friendly. If you watched only this video and the Norwegians here, you would think Norwegians are very, very open and friendly. But I guess it's because she is talking to them. She went up to them and is interviewing them. And then Norwegians politely engage in conversation. It's just starting the conversation that can be difficult by the sound of it.
Børge Marshøyser.
Okay.
That we are silent.
Silent.
We're not.
That's not true.
No, we're social too.
Okay.
We're getting to it.
Do you think Norwegian people need a lot of alcohol to start talking?
Oh, yeah, okay, yes.
That that keeps coming up. The alcohol. Like some of the Norwegians, it's so funny, are like, the stereotype is that we're very cold and quiet. I think we're very social. And then it's like, with alcohol though. And then the Norwegians are like, yeah, with alcohol, yeah.
It helps.
That little point that we forgot.
Okay, yes. I forgot about that.
How often do you drink?
In the weekends.
Fridays and Saturdays are, of course, the big ones.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Why not Wednesday?
Because you have to have some rest. If it's
Oh my god. I never associated Norwegians with drinking all that much. I never thought that as an American growing up. This is kind of showing me, I think Norwegians enjoy drinking as much as Americans do. I didn't know that.
nice weather and sun, we can drink every day.
Yeah, but if it's dark and snowy, we drink inside, so...
Oh my god.
Mostly weekend.
Weekends.
And often Wednesday.
Why Wednesday?
Oh, it's the middle of the week. We call it Little Saturday.
Is that true? Do Norwegians call Wednesday Little Saturday? And you can have a drink on a Wednesday? It'd be a little strange in America. Like in America, we really, really stick to Friday, Saturday. Friday, Saturday. That's the classic.
But alcohol is so expensive to buy here in Norway, so how do you do it?
Oh, I buy it in Sweden.
Oh, yeah.
So you go to Sweden to buy your alcohol.
Yes.
So let's start with a bottle of wine, which costs about $20.
20. 26. 40.
Okay, hard liquor is when it gets really, really expensive. It's only
So this is how much alcohol can cost in Norway. This is actually really interesting. Apparently Norwegians rely on this for social interaction, but a lot of Norwegians can go to Sweden to get cheaper alcohol. This is pretty expensive. $50? I think this same bottle of what, Bacardi? I feel like you could get it for $25. What is this, a liter? A liter for like 25 in America. Oh my god, it's like twice as expensive in Norway. That's insane. Especially given how much Norwegians apparently enjoy drinking and socializing. But I think that's a pretty good place to stop right there. This was a fascinating video. A fascinating look into Norwegian social life and social culture and stereotypes. I'm really glad the Norwegians answering this interview were very open and honest with a lot of their answers. The Norwegians, I gotta say, the Norwegians here seemed so open and friendly once you started talking to them, once they started the conversation. So that just proves to me the stereotype of Norwegians being cold or closed off. Yeah, maybe at first, but I think most Norwegians are actually very, very kind, open, nice people once you get talking and maybe drinking. That's basically what I learned here today. This video was by Dating Beyond Borders, and I liked it quite a bit. It actually taught me a lot of interesting insights into Norwegians and the stereotypes, which a lot of them seem to be true, but they're very, very positive stereotypes, very, very good attributes, actually. So this was very fun. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like, or leave a comment, perhaps with your thoughts on Norwegian stereotypes, and if you think they're true, or over-exaggerated, or false, let me know. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and Norwegian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.